Hello and bienvenidos to Life's Questions and Lessons. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so excited that you are here with me today. This podcast is unedited because life is unedited. Now let's get started with today's question. What is the foundation of my personal brand? What is the foundation of my personal brand? So I'm doing a lot of work right now to really grow my business. This is the year that I'm investing in a lot of programs. I'm going to be traveling, going to conferences, creating connections to really grow this podcast, grow this business, which is my personal brand. And I'm sure you've heard about personal brand in a lot of different ways, but I thought about, what is my personal brand? Like, what is it that I really stand for? And for me, what came out of exploring this question is I'm sharing what I've learned and how I've learned. So I'm sharing what I've learned, the lessons, and how I've learned the questions. Hence the name of the podcast as well. But I really challenge you to think about this question in whatever way works best for you. One thing that's made this podcast and the work that I'm doing within, speaking and going, attending workshops and such, getting my message and my vision out is I'm being myself. So how I talk on this podcast, the questions that I ask, my perspective, my experiences, all the ways I show up on this podcast, this is who I am. I don't have a script. I don't have whatever I say is what I'm going to say, And so really understanding that is the foundation. That's what makes this work so real to me and authentic to me. And it's easier to think about things like growing the podcast. One of the things that obviously whether you're building a personal brand or a business or both, right, is marketing. And the way that I'm looking at marketing this podcast is really using who I am. So I love to compliment women all the time. I come from a very complimentary, family. I will run across the street to compliment someone. And I started doing that, not even realizing that was a way of marketing. I just saw someone on LinkedIn who either asked a really great question or she had something really cool in her profile, and I reached out. And I'm like, I really enjoyed your question. I thought it was very thoughtful, or, I love the energy in your LinkedIn feed, or whatever the case may be. But I'm using the parts of me to build this business. So there isn't really this kind of frustration of, well, how am I going to do it and what's it going to look like? I just show up as myself. So I really challenge you to think about what your foundation is for your personal brand. If you're scared about, the voice that you're going to use, or, the way, the words and the keywords, there's a lot of different things that we overanalyze when we're trying to market ourselves and really thinking about what we stand for. And I encourage you to just be just calm. I think my coworker was telling me the other day, you just know how to calm it out, just don't overthink it. Just show up just like you are, just as you are. And that's what people will really resonate with. So those are the things I had on my heart today. As always, thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you are listening to my words. And if this episode was helpful for you, please share it. We are here on this planet to help each other. So if it was helpful for you, please share it. And until next time, take care.